All right, I want to talk this Black Panther. I want to talk this, and I can't wait to get me another camera, one of them DSLR cameras. I'm tired of these webcams, even though this is the built-in webcam, but I need me another variety. I got to get me another piece for this too, right here. But I want to talk that Black Panther though, and the reason I want to talk that Black Panther is because it was a good message. Y'all got all the other y'all got everybody else who has spoken on it, whether it be in the political forum or um, racially. There was many examples that I heard where people uh, put in their 2 cents pretty much or whatever. But what I'm going to talk about is just the way that I would have wrote the movie. Like if you talking to me and you dealing with movies and stuff like that, I'm gonna be the person to tell you like this is the way that I would have written it because I'm a writer. Like I always said, like I be telling some people like y'all can't just be watching movies for entertainment. Y'all gotta go ahead and see if they dropping some jewels in that motherfucker or whatever. But it's Killmonger versus the Black Panther, right? Killmonger versus the Black Panther. You know, like I said, it's a lot of people who spoke on it, like the notable ones, on YouTube who covered this type of shit or whatever, or certain people listen to it, whatever. But I'm just giving my independent, free thought on it or whatever, and that's basically saying that I would have wrote it like the Lion King. Oh, that shit would have been so fucking bomb. I would have wrote that shit like the Lion King. And what tripped me out is they put most of their production or whatever, or the CGI into what Wakanda looked like or whatever. Because I mean, yeah, they put some other special effects with the fucking rhinos and shit like that. Oh, and I forgot, if you ain't seen the movie, then fuck it, you need to turn this off now or whatever. So if you ain't seen the movie, then go watch it, and then come back here. But like I said, I took that movie is kind of like the Lion King. They should have did it like the Lion King. They should have did it just like that or whatever. Because they didn't give a backstory on Killmonger, whatever. Even though they showed the snippet and he was able to go back and see the ancestors and everything like that. But Killmonger was, in my opinion, and of course a lot of other people's opinion, that Killmonger was the new king and he won the fight and everything like that, and he was coming to save us. He was coming to save the African American per se, or as you would say, allegedly, or so called, or whatever. He came to look out for us, and then Black Panther was like, "No, you're not. You're not finna do that." So they fought or whatever, for it or whatever, and he did the lip thing, where they had to hit him with the this is where I'm from or whatever. So he hit him with that or whatever. But like I said, I just made this to be short. Um, I would have wrote it like the Lion King because I would have took Killmonger on his approach. I'd have been like, you know what, you the king. And then another example is why I say the Lion King is because like when Mufasa died, um, Simba went into exile. Nala came and found him and was like you the king, you're the king. Simba said, no, Scar's the king. And Nala like, well, he ain't a good one. There ain't nothing to eat. There ain't shit. He ain't providing nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just everything is gone or whatever. And plus his mama back there. You know, and how they could have spun that with Black Panther was they could have made it where the Black Panther eventually came out to be the true rightful natural heir of the throne. Um, they could have had it set up where it's like he got thrown over the cliff. Everybody thought he was dead. The woof 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 dudes, they could have came in later on, and like the film should have been longer. But this is only if they would have wrote it similar to the Lion King. So he's supposed to be dead. Nobody know, but the audience knows. Of course, he's alive, but everybody else don't know he's alive. And then it could have been like where the Black Panther came back and he was like, or the Chikala, you know, yeah, came back and was like, "Oh, you the king or whatever." He's like, "Yeah, and this is what I'm doing. I'm giving vibranium to all of our people, whatever, because it's pretty much like Africans versus African Americans, when you get all political and everything with it, and it is what it is too. It's like you got to just listen to other people and how they explain it or whatever. But it's something just like that or whatever. But I would have made it just like the Lion King because uh, I would have let him do what he had to do or whatever. And this is just because it's a movie or whatever. It's fiction, but there's the message there. That's what we forget or whatever. Yes, it's fictional, but if they wanted Killmonger, of course Killmonger is supposed to be the villain, so he ain't gonna win any fucking way. He's not gonna win anyway because he's supposed to be the villain, and a lot of people, Stan Lee, got control of that shit or whatever. So it's like Killmonger's the villain. Fuck what everybody else is talking about. That motherfucker's written to be the villain. But the way they wrote it, though, the way they wrote the shit was cold. Because other people was like, why couldn't some of the notable people were saying, fuck it, I would say their name. What am I afraid to say their name? Yvette Carnell and and Zoe Williams and Tariq Nasheed and a lot of all these people, all of our peoples, who speak about this or whatever. But like focusing on the Lion King or whatever, like I said, I would have let Killmonger do what he do, like you're the king or whatever. But at the back of my mind, I'm like, if things go wrong, then I'm gonna fight you again for it, and we're gonna be stronger than ever. Even though people was like, technically, nigga, you lost. Like you're not supposed to do that. But like, it's a movie. It's it's fiction or whatever. But the message is still there. So the message is pretty much, there's a lot of Killmongers in the world, and there are a lot of T'Challas. So it's like, no, you ain't gonna uplift nobody. You ain't gonna uplift nobody on my watch. So take it how you want it. We could fight or whatever, even though I already lost, but I mean, we could still fight, and I got people who gonna look out for me. But anyway, like I said, there's a lot of people who've already broke that part down or whatever. So what I'm saying is just in closing, like I would have did it like the Lion King. I would have let Killmonger go ahead and do what he do, even though he didn't know I was alive yet, and I would have been watching his moves or whatever, and he would have did what he did, gave the vibranium to everybody. But I would have expected him to govern these people since this was his people or whatever. But and people got deep into that shit too about Black Panther was saving that shit for his people, not black people. It was for his people. You know what I'm saying? So that's deep too. And if things went wrong, which you probably would have had to do it because it's a movie, things would have went wrong. Like he wasn't able to control everybody, and everybody was trying to overthrow him with the vibranium. And then that's when Black Panther could have been like, you see why I kept it locked like this? You see why? And they did make Killmonger a little too fucking hostile, but then now I had to put myself in his character. Like you were left here, and you had to fend for yourself, and then you were one of many who got to go and do some shit that probably some black people wouldn't. I don't want to be no damn CIA agent and a part of that or whatever. But he had all the his tribal shit or whatever that was called to prove it, all the marks and everything. So he got up in that position or whatever. But that would have been the case, and then that would have been the finale. The people who he would have gave the vibranium to certain people or to all the people, whatever, and then they would have divided amongst each other in society and either sided with Killmonger or sided with the Black Panther. That'd have been the motherfucking movie right there. You talking about me, nigga, if I would have wrote that shit. And just like I said, like, this is what I do. I write. I love to write. That's what I do. I write. I love it. I love it. I love to write. Whatever. And especially like fucking, I could write some fictional shit all day. But that's the way it should have been. That's the way I feel it should have been. It'd have been something like The Lion King, but enhanced. Because we ain't talking about no cartoon, even though it is a fucking cartoon because it was in comic books or whatever. But, it's not animals and shit like that, pretty much. So that's exactly how I would have made it. I would have made it just like The Lion King, just like that motherfucker, if I was writing it. That would have been the first half of the movie. What they showed us, that would have been the first half of the fucking movie. The second half of the movie, or I'd probably have to chop it up, or shorten it down. But the middle part of the movie would have been Killmonger's reign. He's there or whatever, and Black Panther waiting for him to fuck up. And the thing about it is he didn't fuck up. It was the people. It was like you got your Killmonger would have been like, you got all this shit, but you using it for evil. That's not what the fuck I intended for this to happen. Fuck. Now I need my brother. It could have went like that, and be like, no, fuck it. It can only be one of us. They would have fought off for it, and it could have ended like that. It could have went many ways or whatever. But like I said, when I watch movies and I do reviews on movies, I'm coming at it from a director's point of view, producer, especially the motherfucking goddamn screenplay right, that what these motherfuckers say in the script on screen. That's where I'm coming from it at. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people or some people are just fans of, the Black Panther or whatever the fuck Marvel and DC, put out or whatever. And then you have the other people who think critical of this type of shit when it involves movies that involve us as melanated people, black people, African Americans, whatever the fuck we are comfortable calling each other or whatever. The Pills are going to break it down. I haven't listened to their shit yet. It's a lot of people that I listen to that I haven't listened to yet who are already going to break it down. So I just wanted to put out my version of how I would have did it from a screenplay writer's perspective. And then people would have been like, well, I know some people would be like, well, so in your movie, the Black Panther will win anyway. So that would be the next question. And this is the last thing I'm going to say before I get off. But I don't know. I don't know if I would have let the Black Panther win or not. I don't know if I would have let Killmonger win or not. Because you already got like a history on Black Panther. But for people who were not into comic books and stuff like that, like some of this generation, the Z generation or post millennials and shit like that, and even like the millennials, 80 babies and everything like that, who wasn't into fucking comic books and shit like that. I mean, I forgot why I got into comic books. I think one of my friends he had a whole lot of them motherfuckers. I was like, God damn. And I remember the first comic book that I bought, it was The Man of Steel. The black version of Superman. That was the first one I bought. And I had it for a long time, and I kept it, and I read it, and then that's when I really got into drawing and shit like that or whatever. But I wasn't really good at writing yet, but I was drawing a lot as a child. But yeah. that's how I would have handled it. I would have handled it just like that. I would have, made it like some Lion King shit, and I I would have left an ending where there you knew there was gonna be a part two. I would have definitely left an ending that let you know it was gonna be a part two to this shit. Like it ain't over. I'd have still had people like, well, but what happened next? Like that is the master. That is mastering the ability to write. The fucking pen still has its way in this world. You hear people say that all the time. The fucking pen still has a place in this world with all this fucking technology. The pen, motherfucker, the pencil still has its place. That's like that's some writer shit right there, nigga. That's our shit or whatever. But anyway, um, this was just a quick video. Like I said, I'd have wrote it like the Lion King, but enhanced. I would have wrote it just like that, and Killmonger wouldn't have won, and the Black Panther wouldn't have won in the first movie. It would have been like, what is going to happen next? Because Black Panther got his shit off Old Boy when he fought. He could have killed him, but he didn't. He had him in the leg lock or whatever, and he just tapped out. He was like, "Fuck you, you king," or whatever. Because they came down, they was like, "Wait a minute, hold on, and we about that shit too. We think we fit for kings as well, so we want a challenge. Challenge accepted. Bam, he lost. He had that on him, or whatever. Then Killmonger comes, they fight. Now he 1-1. Killmonger is 1-0 or whatever. The fucking fight never stops anyway. I mean, some niggas don't give up until one of the niggas is dead. Let's be fucking real. Like some niggas don't know how to take an ass whooping and just keep it pushing. They don't have to take an ass whooping and keep it pushing. Somebody gotta fucking die after somebody get an ass whooping, right? Like, I mean, come on, yeah, yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So it was going to go on and on no matter what. But that's how I would have wrote the movie to set up the part for the next one. But they can't do it now because now they can't steal my idea because they didn't already put out the other one. So they're going to have to steal my idea and do it with another movie or whatever. But that's exactly how the way I would have put it. I would have put it just like that, flat out. Just like the Lion King. I would have let Killmonger go ahead and do his thing and see what happens or whatever. And then if anything happened, I would have took back control. And I have to play both antagonists and protagonists or whatever. But in this fucking movie, in the Black Panther, they're really protagonists. They're both protagonists. I don't think if nobody touched on that. They're both protagonists. They're not antagonists. Because if what's called was antagonist, he wouldn't have killed old boy with the war robot arm that shot plasma and shit or whatever the fuck that shit was. He wouldn't have killed him to get to Wakanda or whatever because he had something to say to somebody or whatever. So they would have both been protagonists or whatever. And then everybody else would have decided who was the protag and who was the antag or whatever. But it wasn't going to be designed for that. And I mean, it was designed like that as well. But a lot of people think that when you see superhero movies, there's a bad guy and there's a good guy or whatever, which can be totally wrong or whatever. They can be antagonists that end up being protagonists and shit. And, you see that shit all around or whatever. But yeah, that's something up. That's what I would have did with it. I would have made it like the Lion King, and nobody would have won. Yeah, nobody would have won. I would have have everybody guessing for part two. I don't even know what I would have did with that one. Part two, I'm just gonna put it out there like that. In part two, they was fighting and somebody else came, so they had to put that shit on pause. As a screenplay writer, that's what I would have did. They had to put all that shit on pause and fight this motherfucker because he didn't give a fuck about neither one of y'all. He didn't care about nobody. It was like, okay, we're gonna come back to each other, but we gotta fight this motherfucker because he's trying to destroy both of us or whatever. And it kept you coming and coming and coming because I would have always kept up with shit where it was like shit don't get resolved, especially between brothers for some reason. Shit just don't ever get resolved. It's always There's always some other shit attached to it, so it's never over. You know, and that's when we dealing with like the social infrastructure system and all the shit that like the all the people who like to talk about that deep shit because I do too, but I rather have people around me. I rather have people around me talking the same shit or different shit. This motherfucker don't agree, but everybody else agrees, or these set of people don't. I rather do it like that. I don't like doing it by myself. I really don't like it. Even though I can, if I feel like it, I'll do it, like I'm doing now. But I want to hear what everybody else got to say, But in the same space and time and shit like that. So anyway, this is versatility vision where we talk about any and everything. I got more videos coming up soon and everything, and hopefully within a couple of motherfucking months, I can get me another camera, something like that. So I don't have to switch this and switch that and everything like that. But hey, the message is what counts. That's what matters. So I know what to do, man. Hit me up, subscribe me, support the music if you into my type of music. If you're not, then you just not. But I'm out.